What's up, everybody? We got episode 6 of Creature Commandos, and we went to Gotham, and I think I also found a Superboy tease for the future of the DCU. Before we get into any of that, though, make sure you subscribe so you're not missing out on daily videos here on the channel. But enough from me, let's get into the episode. It was straight to Gotham City in episode 6 as it was Dr. Phosphorus' turn to have his tragic origin put on display. But we jump around before that, checking in with everybody as the team is still on the run in Bakolistan, and the bride and Nina end up in a brothel. Back in the States, Flag is rushed to the hospital and he's in a coma with a broken back and internal damage. Unfortunately, it does seem like cancer theory isn't going to play out, and instead, it's going to be like this broken back thing that puts him behind the desk, but even so, I think the major points that I outlined for his future, like, finding out the truth and turning on Waller, will still play out, just with different finite details. Then, and this is where Superboy is teased, Weasel runs into a pack of wolves in Pagolistan. I could be reaching with this, but to me, it's not a coincidence that the alpha of the pack was a white wolf, because I think Gunn was teasing Superboy's appearance, and Young Justice fans, of course, know his super pet, Wolf. For those of you who don't know, the villains Brain and Mala found a pack of wolves and used cobra venom on them, which of course mutated them. But this isn't the only tease we've gotten, because the way Gunn and Nicholas Hoult have talked about Lex, I've been starting to talk and think more and more about Project Cadmus being a possibility in the DCU. Anyway, we get back to Phosphorus' origin story, and even though he's one of the true villains in this show, he's still got a terribly tragic origin. The show pretty much followed his comic origin, with Rupert Thorne's involvement in the path for revenge. It was a brutal scene, and they did not hold back whatsoever. Also, Thorne wanted to send his cancer drugs that he was making to Bialia, a fictional Middle Eastern country. And this isn't based on anything, I've got no insider info, but I've got a theory as to how it's going to come into play in the DCU. I think this shot we see of the young boy lifting the yellow Superman flag takes place in Bialia, and early in the movie, that conflict that we've seen in the Daily Planet news will occur, with Superman taking down the self-appointed ruler of Bialia and his villain, Queen Bee. But back to Pakolistan, the Craig brothers, who are metahumans, but I also believe are original characters, correct me if I'm wrong, down in the comments, barge into the brothel. They get rough and rowdy, and Nina, who's been cowering in the shadows since their return to Pakolistan, along with the bride, who needs no excuse to fight, got their girls' backs. Which, speaking of backs, Andy Dwyer would say that Phosphorus has a better comeback story than Kim K as the radioactive villain gets his revenge on Rupert Thorne when he's with his family, the same way Thorne tormented him. That allows Phosphorus to take over Thorne's empire, which leads to a hilarious dance number and an epic first appearance for the Cape Crusader. Yes, that's right, we got Batman. Now, we do have to slam the brakes because Gunn wanted it to be more of a silhouette since they don't have a design in place, but we can see very clearly a gray and blue suit, which I love. I also noticed, but it is harder to see, so, maybe it wasn't signed off on, maybe not 100% going to be there in live action, some trunks on the Dark Knight, but I just love the blue batsuit. I'd kill to see Robert Pattinson rocking it, but we did get the annoying Bulkman Batman design, so we'll just have to wait and see. Then the episode closes as Waller sits at Flag's bedside, not because she's worried about him, but because he's the only one who knows what Frankenstein's going to do. She hasn't had the biggest role in the show, but I'll be damned if I haven't loved every single scene I get with Viola Davis's Waller. And we also saw what Frankenstein's doing. He's returning home to Pakolistan to get his bride, and he's inevitably going to stop the Commandos and World War III. Overall, that was a damn good penultimate episode as we near the end of Season 1. Gunn did a fine job of balancing his split story this week, and he continues to do a great job mixing in both subtle and blatant DCU world-building moments. Honestly, that's been one of, if not the, best aspects of the show so far. And so that'll do it for my breakdown of episode 6 of Creature Commandos. I'm much more excited for this finale than I would have been a couple weeks ago, as For me, this show really found its footing in the back half. Let me know what you thought of this week's episode, though, down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.